Hi, I'm Michael Sterrett, CEO of United HVAC Motors. Today we're going to go over how to find an active speed tab on an X13 blower motor. Okay, so when you have a motor that is not operating and we send you a tech support video that says that some of these wires right here that go to the communication wires have to go on an active speed tab, such as this motor has 2 and 3 active, we need to find out which one of these wires are active to go on 2 and 3. So the way that you do it is you're going to take this harness and you're going to cut the wires on it, and you're going to make it look like this with a bunch of female ends on it. So the way that you do this is you turn the power off, you take these, you cut them all, then you take these 5 wires one at a time and you strip them. Then you have all these wires stripped. And then with these female plugs, spades, you go ahead and you crimp them on each one of these. And you continue that for all 5 of these. And then you end up with something that looks like this. So in order to test which one of these wires is active in cool mode, because we're looking for both cool mode and heat mode to put on an active speed tab, we need this high voltage harness. And on this high voltage harness, you're going to see that one of the letters on it is C. So we're going to be testing with our multimeter here. We're going to put it in voltage AC. If you have a multimeter that's scalable, anything under 110 volts will work. We're looking for 24 volts VAC. So the way that we do this, we take our thermostat and we put our thermostat in air conditioning mode. And then once it's in air conditioning mode, make sure that your thermostat isn't blinking cool or wait, that it's solid. And as soon as you hear that, as soon as you see that it's solid, put one of these probes in the C. And then you're going to work through these until you find the one that comes up to voltage. So let's go ahead and work through this. There we go. Yellow is active. That's the one we're going to be using. This is not active. That's not active. So now that our thermostat is in cool mode, we're going to go ahead and get our multimeter out and we're going to put it in voltage AC mode. On your high voltage power cord, you're going to see that there's a letter C. We're going to be testing between the letter C and these 5 wires, and we're looking for voltage between 21 to 28 volts AC. So let's go ahead and first push our probe into the C. And now we're going to find out which one of these wires are energized and cool. To make it easier, I went ahead and I have a piece of masking tape and I wrote cool on it, so as soon as we find that wire that's energized, we're going to label it as our cool wire. So let's go ahead and work our way through these and find out which one is active. Okay, so the yellow wire for us is energized in air conditioning mode. So let's go ahead and put our cool mark on this one. So now we know this is our wire that energizes in cool mode. So now we're gonna switch our thermostat into heat mode if you use that. If you don't have heat on your system, it's okay, you can skip this step. But if you have heat, let's go ahead and continue. So we're gonna get our piece of masking tape with heat ready, and let's go ahead and switch our thermostat into heat mode. Okay, now that we have our thermostat in heat mode, let's go ahead and do the same thing, and we're gonna measure between the C on the high voltage terminal and these other tabs, and we're gonna see which one of these is energized in heat mode. So we can go ahead and put our masking tape on the correct one. So let's go ahead and work our way through. Okay, so in this case, the red one is energized. So let's go ahead and put our masking tape on the red one. Okay, let's go back to our panel, our main electrical panel, and turn off the breaker for our air conditioner so we can hook this back up. Okay, now that we have our power turned off, we're going to go ahead and plug everything in. The high voltage goes back where it belongs. Now on your particular motor, it might be a little bit different from this than what we have in front of us. But on this motor, both 2 and 3 are active. So we're gonna take these guys, the heat and cool wire, and the way that you know which one goes on which, the heat wire will go to the lower number, which is number 2. And then the cool wire will go to number 3. Now that we have our breaker turned off to the system, we're gonna go ahead and plug these wires back in. We're gonna put our high voltage harness back into the motor. And then we have this heat and cool. On this particular motor that you have, active tabs are number 2 and number 3. So the way that you know which one goes on which one, the heat will generally go on the lower number, and the cool will go on the higher number. And these other 3 ones are not active. You can either take these and put them to the side and tape them to something, or you can just take them and put them on any tab. It's not gonna hurt anything to do this. So we're gonna go back to our thermostat, and we're gonna click it into air conditioning mode. Now we're gonna test for heating operation. We're gonna go back to our thermostat and we're gonna put it in heat mode. And there we go. Okay. Now we're gonna do the turning into heat.